Hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and this is Get Fit With Me presents Accountability Motivation Series. So one of the videos I wanted to come up with today, this isn't going to be too long, it's going to be nice, short, and sweet, is what my plans are for November. I am someone who, and I probably should mention this, one thing that I like to do is I'm a habitual looking forward in time type thing, which can be a good thing, but also cannot be a good thing. But for me, I do this for fitness goals, health goals, things of that nature. I know we're getting close to those holidays, so I figured that this would be a good video to put out there. And I know with a lot of people, you gain weight during the holidays, but you don't have to do that. That's not something you have to do. Also, I know a lot of times people decide they're going to not do something until New Year's Eve when it comes to the resolutions of it all. And studies show that that does not work very well overall. That's actually probably the gym's most profitable time of the year, because the idea is people are paying for these memberships but are not actually going. So one thing you want to do to try to combat that is when you have an idea that you want to, hunker down and fix some things or improve on some things, set a time frame of when you want to do it. Do not wait too far in advance. I would still set a time to do it, not necessarily just go off and do it, because you want to make sure you have everything researched, you have everything figured out of what will actually truly work for you. And you also don't want to just go for it and set unrealistic expectations of what you can and can't do. So for me, what I've decided to do in the month of November, I'm actually doing a couple things in the month of November, and this might sound ambitious, but stick with me. Also, I've done this type of thing before, so I know I'm capable of doing these things because I've done them before. So for the month of November, I'm going completely dry. I'm not drinking alcohol at all for the month of November. I didn't want to wait till dry January. I know that's a thing, but let's get to it when you can. And for me, it honestly, for my social life, makes the most sense to do it in November, where I will have less temptations. I do have an engagement party I'm going to, but I already told my friends whose engagement party it is that I was already planning on doing this. So I'm going to try to find ways to, do the non-alcoholic variety and still hang out and still, be social. Because just because you cut off alcohol doesn't mean you can't be social. That's very clear. Now, if you feel that way and you feel like your friends are not there, they're not your friends. There's that. Anyway, so besides that, the other goal that I am going to go to, so we're going to shift this around. So besides that, the other thing I'm planning on doing in the month of November, for those who've been following my channel the whole time or have hopped on a little bit later, I, up until this year, was pescatarian. I was pescatarian from 2018 all the way till this year. This year, I decided I did not want to have those restrictions, which is kind of why the weight kind of came on pretty quickly, because I live in a major city and I moved here to the city in 2018. So therefore, I just realized I never really got to enjoy certain things that is kind of known for being in Chicago, like Italian beef sausages and things like that. Even when I visit, because I'm one of those people, when I go visit places, I don't do the touristy stuff. So I don't eat the really touristy foods. So, but if anyone who's very familiar with Chicago, if you're someone who's a foodie or someone who really loves to eat, there's a major food scene here. So you can get anything and everything you want here. And it's just like chef's kiss, right? So as a result, I decided this year that I was not going to stay pescatarian. So I've started to slowly introduce meat back into my diet, and now I'm basically just like someone who eats meat, but I don't eat it so regularly. Lately I have been, but I also have been trying to bulk up a little bit more fitness wise and get my muscles back to the way they were before I was a runner a little bit. so that I can give the muscles the abuse again with the marathons and whatnot. Because one thing that is super important, I know I'm going off on a little bit of tangents here, but the reason behind it though is when you have muscles, and they don't have to be like necessarily bulky muscles. For running, it's actually better, especially distance running. It's probably better for lean muscles. But for me, when I had the bulky muscles at the beginning, when I first started being a runner, it was harder to run as far as speed wise, but I was not as banged up and bruised. And once I took this third or fourth mini break that I've taken, which I haven't really taken a full-on break because I've never stopped running all the way. But for me, this is considered a break because I haven't done a marathon this year. That's how I gauge my breaks, is if I've done a marathon or not. If I haven't done a marathon, I'm kind of on a break. But anyway, so as a result, I try to do things to supplement that as far as going to the gym, getting my muscles back in order, because if you're not a runner or if you're someone who's interested in doing marathons or more, it beats up your body like a lot. It's not for the weak at heart. Marathons or more is probably not really meant for health and fitness. It's more or less a challenge. And for me, it's more of a mental challenge. That's why I do it. But if you're someone who wants to run to be basically stay more fit and active, I would say half marathons or less. Because a half marathon, you're going to start to get to that mental standpoint, but you still can actually race the crap out of a half marathon and be fine, and you're not banging up your body. Once you get to the marathons, because I mean, clearly, once you start running a certain distance, it kind of becomes actually literally, it can be dangerous, especially if you're not doing it properly or doing the proper training or taking care of yourself. So this is why I put so much emphasis on my diet. And so when I'm not doing the marathon training, I kind of try to up the protein, get the body back to the breakdown, because with those distances, it breaks down your body horribly. So, and I'm someone who wants to run for a very long time. That is my goal. So I try to, do everything I can to do that, which includes taking breaks when I need it, switching focuses, switching to triathlons for a little bit, switching to cycling more, switching to doing shorter distance, like things you can do to stay with it, but not actually stop. Because for those who know me, people who know me know I started running in 2019. It was not 2019. 2009. I keep forgetting it's been that long. But I started in 2009, and it's the only exercise I've never stopped doing, ever. And the only time I've ever stopped running is because I had to, and that was this year. This year was the first time I've ever had to stop running, and it was the longest break I've ever taken since I first became a runner. So that tells you something. So I mentioned that because in the month of November, also, I know I went around the mulberry bush a little bit there, but the reason why I'm mentioning this, in the month of November, I am going back to kind of pescatarian, but I'm actually going to try to go more vegetarian with a little bit of pescatarian, because the month of November, the reason why I'm also going, besides going dry on the alcohol and going more on that route of the of pescatarian type thing, is I am planning on doing a detox. I think I'm going to try to find like a 14-day natural detox kit to give my body a full reset. Now, you're probably wondering, oh my gosh, is that safe? Is that okay to do? Which is why I also mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you have certain goals and you have certain things you want to do as far as resetting how you do things, you need to plan in advance, because you also need to do your research to make sure whatever you're doing is not harmful. Because there are a lot of like these detox kits and things like that that you can get that are not healthy. I go to a local health food shop that in the past I've went to a local health food shop in where I'm originally from, and I get this kit and I do it, And I talked to a nutritionist and all that ahead of time to make sure I'm not like doing permanent damage. If you're going to do the same thing, I would highly recommend doing that. Don't just buy something off of Amazon and go off of that, like at all. So what I'm probably going to do this time around is, because I always buy the same product, I'm probably just going to find that same product on Amazon and do that. The one I use is not as aggressive, so therefore I'm not going to go to the bathroom constantly. Also, if you're someone who's already regular, you're not going to really feel the difference. I know that's a little TMI, but if you're already regular, the difference is pretty minimal, at least for me, because I've always been kind of, yeah. Anyway, so that's the other thing I'm planning on doing in the month of November. Now, if you want to do that for me, if you want to do that with me, by all means, definitely do that. And also continue like this getting fit journey. I will share my numbers. With that being said, I'm going to share my number like at the beginning of the month of November, just as a short. And then I'm going to share what my number is at the end of the month to see how much of a difference it is. How do I feel? I'll give a whole entire review of how that's going. So I just wanted to just mention that's the challenge, and that's what I'm going to be doing for the Get Fit With Me series, accountability series for the month of November. I feel like most of the summer / early fall, I've been focusing on grounding. And now I feel grounded. Because that's been my intention for most of the year, is to get grounded and stay grounded. So I definitely feel that way now. And now the next thing is to do is get that body back. Get to it. I don't know if you're like this, but I'm a type of person, I probably get in my better shape towards the winter months. And then the summer months is about maintaining. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't really have much else to say, but if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments on what you think you're going to do for the month of November, let me know. I think it's good every month, just in general. So this is kind of another tangent. It's good every month to come up with a plan, what you're going to do for that month. Just so that you stay on it, stay on top of things. And also that helps you stay motivated. It helps kind of combat any type of depression, anxiety, or whatever you might have. Get ahead of it. I am someone who I have some issues here and there. Like I've had some bouts of depression, and I've been very transparent about it on this channel. And especially this year was a little bit of a rough, challenging year where it kind of was hard for me I stayed out of like the funk I was in the year before, but man, the universe was challenging me. But I'm glad I still kept my head up, and I was like, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to move forward. So hopefully this message helps you. Hopefully this helps you decide what you're going to do next. And yeah. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. And if you're wondering what's this about, I'm about to light a candle. Duh. Anyway, bye.